We don't have a big bug problem here over on our cucumbers. My favorite one, Calypso, over there. We actually picked one about 10 days ago. Lord only knows how we did it. And see the bees working? We got a bee up there and a bee back there and a bee down there and a bee down there. Man, a week ago there wasn't a bee in this garden. And this thing's hunting a ton of fruit. There's probably 300 cucumbers set on this thing. And they're all coming along now. Now down here at the end, I planted that section and those two sections first, and then I planted that section, and that section. And see, they're slowly coming. That's a market more. And they just weren't doing anything. Well, as I was saying, these just really didn't do anything. And I brought in my card in here, 32 gigabytes, said it was full, so I had to download it. And so I've had to put Miracle-Gro on this. And Miracle-Gro has really picked it up and started growing, so it just needed some punch to get it to go. And we need to pull those up tomorrow and put them in the fence. And we'll be up to our ears in cucumbers. It's getting late in the day. It's 5:15. If you wanted to kill all these squash bugs in here, where was it? I just saw a pair in here hooked up right there. If you would water these down at the bottom really heavy all the way up, all those little creatures will crawl up to the top. The squash vine bugs love to get up here and air out. And then you can spray them with insecticidal soap, and in 2 minutes they're dead. But that's basically the garden, folks. My fig tree's doing about the same. Not seeing much new growth, very little. And we have a thrasher built a nest in there. I don't want him to disturb him, but you can't even see him. But if I can see this with the sun in my face, right in that notch up there, they have built a nest. They're a great bird, and if a bird builds a nest in your yard, they will nest there for a long time. See those 3 little figs there and some brown stuff? That's the thrasher's nest. For people who haven't seen my earlier videos, I use insecticidal soap, and I buy it concentrated because it's a lot cheaper, and mix it with water and buy a really high quality sprayer. And I just watered these things and wet all the leaves down. And these squash beetles, some of them are mating, they come up to dry out. And all you do is spray these insecticidal soap on it, it'll kill them. Now you might have seen that little beetle, cucumber beetle flying around here. It's a little yellow thing. But you see that bee working? If you spray insecticidal soap on a beetle in that flower, and he goes in there to pollinate it, it will get on him and it will kill him. So you don't want to spray anywhere in the flowers. And see, there's no flowers here, so I can spray that. But all you have to do is do that, and they will die in 2 minutes. They're soft-bodied. See that little cucumber beetle right there? But it's near that flower. And if I sprayed that and a bee came and got on that flower, it would get them. It would kill them. Now the bees working early in the morning, later in the afternoon. It's better to do this real late in the day when the bees aren't working. And insecticidal soap dries, and once it dries, it can't harm a bee. But never spray in that flower, because the bee would get on there if it got on it when it was wet, and the bee would die. But it's really nice. See, they've all just come up here to dry off, so you don't have to hunt down in there for them and spray them. You just wait for them to come up here to dry off. We don't have a lot of them, but there are quite a number in here. See them? And there are no flowers on that. But if he'll slow down enough, I'll come back in a minute and you'll see that he is no longer with us. But we do have a lot of pollinators working. The bees are flying all over stuff, so I'm going to do the rest of it later. But if I see any away from a flower, I will spray it. But I don't want to hurt a pollinator, because we sure have a limited amount without any honeybees. I haven't seen a honeybee this year.